and welcome to the sports show. Mike, Max, Trent Tucker, Lavelle E. Neal, and Sid Hartman. What a lineup it is. Let's start with our heavyweight, our cleanup man. Minnesota Vikings are playing as we speak. National Football League preparing for the playoffs. Sidney, have the Vikings surprised you overall this season? Have they outperformed what you thought they would coming into the season now that they playoff team?
Yeah, they outperformed me for this reason. That linebacker, Goodell, what's his name?
Kendricks?
The linebacker.
Kendricks.
Huh?
Eric Kendricks, the middle linebacker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been a big surprise. Barr was great until he got hurt. The right tackle, playing decent. Harrison Smith was having a great year until he got hurt. The tackle from the Giants, he was sensational until he got hurt.
Linval Joseph.
Yeah.
Okay.
And all these guys came through for him, but we'll see what happens in the playoff.
In part because the injuries, Trent, they only had one player go to the Pro Bowl, and that, or elected to the Pro Bowl, and that was Adrian Peterson. Is that a good sign or a bad sign? Do you need superstars to win in the NFL or not?
Well, you need guys who can perform at a very high level when you talk about, contending for a championship, and you like to have multiple guys who can do that. But when you only have one guy make the Pro Bowl, it shows you how good and how depth your team is, because you have other guys who are able to step up and play some good football for you.
That means they're buying into a system, huh, and playing a system.
They understand what the system is all about, and Coach Zimmer has done a very good job of making sure that the players are in the right position to be successful.
Lavelle?
This is football. There's a collision every snap of the ball. Players are going to get injured. They're going to end up in the IR. The good teams are able to fight through the injuries and still maintain. And he's right. This is an example of the Vikings' depth.
Why, this movie Concussion comes out, and they talk about being game changers and the whole concussion phenomenon, and yet the NFL is still, the most popular league in town. Do you think the NFL is in jeopardy right now of taking a slide downward, Trent?
I don't think so. I don't think so. You're always going to have more kids coming up that want to play football.
In the inner city, are your numbers the same, or are they?
They're growing. I mean, I think across the country, because, if there's one or two players decide that it's time for me to leave the NFL, there are going to be 10 to 20 guys standing in that door trying to get that spot.
Yeah, we're a long ways from them having to go out in the street corner and try to find players, aren't we, Lavelle?
Right.
Yeah. Trent, does youth football enrollment, does that change based on the success of the NFL team? Because when I worked in Kansas City, when the Chiefs are doing well, there are more kids signing up for football. When the Royals are doing well, there are more kids signing up for baseball.
I think when you have some of your, some of your local teams doing very well, it can help, all of a sudden now drive that enthusiasm, for youth activity. And you're trying to get more young kids involved to participate in sports because it's a good thing for them. But also, if the coaches are teaching the game the right way at that youth level, that's a big plus for our kids.
Yeah, that's why I think if it's a $12 million industry, you're not going to topple. You're not going to topple a $12 million industry. It's going to have to come down to finding ways to make the game safer for the kids and make sure the kids are coached the technique properly.
Sidney, if the Vikings in the playoffs, what chances do you give them?
Oh, I don't know.
50-50?
So many ifs. If they find a way to get Adrian Peterson moving at his highest point, not 65 yards or 45 yards. If they get Bridgewater to move like he played against the Bears, if they can stay healthy, I don't think Green Bay is impossible to beat.
No.
I don't think right now. They got some more, but they're playing Arizona.
Yeah, who do you think is the best? So you look at Arizona, playing very well. Carolina, obviously the unbelievable season. And Seattle might be playing the best of anybody. Who scares you the most?
I think Carolina. I think that quarterback is Newton is unbelievable.
MVP.
I just think that he is, and they got some pretty good players. They got a center, for instance, that's been the brother of Khalil. That's been
Ryan.
Pro Bowl 5 years
what about
in a
Gerard
row.
Allen?
Huh?
What about Gerard Allen?
Gerard Allen having a good year. What a break they gave him.
Charles Tillman.
I think they're the best team.
Yeah. You win with veterans this time of year, Trent, or can you win with guys that are young and full of life and legs?
Well, you like to have a balance of youth and veterans, but at this stage, you need the veteran guys who can play at a very high level. Because, they're not going to make the mistakes at the most critical time of the season. And you look at the San Antonio Spurs, when you look at how they are built, they have veteran guys across the board, and that's why they're able to contend every year for a championship almost.
Lavelle, what league is the hardest to build a team in, do you think?
Hardest to build a team?
Yeah, a good team.
Well, you've got football has 22 players on the field, and you have, 50 on the roster, 55? To me, to get a team with that many people pushing and set in the right direction, deal with injuries, deal with guys getting suspended for drugs and all this other stuff, I think it's the hardest thing to do. It's hard to command a clubhouse and get guys to believe in what you're saying. So many people, so many alpha personalities, it's got to be the toughest.
Sid, what do you think is the toughest league to build a winning team in? What professional league is the toughest one as a general manager to build a winner in?
Well, with the draft, you got to get lucky. I mean, the Vikings, I think, have been lucky as heck with the number of guys they've drafted the last 2 years.
But they've had some skill, though. They've gone out and scouted and done the right things. It's not luck.
The thing that killed the Vikings this year was to lose Lillard,
Yeah.
and Sullivan, especially Sullivan. Sullivan is one of our most valuable players. He calls those plays for the line.
He's smart.
He's a great leader.
Yep. And he loves football.
He's a winner. And I think when they lost him, they lost the chance to post a better record.
But Lavelle will tell you every team goes through injuries.
Yeah, I mean, Sid,
Sid.
everybody breaks down, Sid. It's about overcoming injuries.
Yeah, he thinks
it's
he shouldn't have any injuries. Tell
Yeah,
us.
just because a team loses because of injuries, that's not devastating. Everybody breaks down, man.
Listen to him.
You got to bounce back. The ability to bounce back, improvise, and overcome. Good teams improvise and overcome, Sid.
Is that right?
That's exactly right.
Did you get that?
Well, I think Spielman's done a fantastic job.
Of course you would say that.
I really have. Come up with a guy like Diggs. Come up like McMahon. Come up with a couple of those other kids.
McMahon.
Is Jim McMahon with the Vikings?
What's his
What
name?
position?
Wide receiver.
You mean running back McKinnon?
Yeah, McKinnon.
Jarek McKinnon. Yeah.
McKinnon.
Yeah.
I could screw up Johnson.
Yeah.
McKinnon. McKinnon has been a big surprise. Look what he did against the Bears.
Yeah, you're right.
And then Thielen is another good kid, free agent kid, who turns out he's come up with a lot of guys.
I agree. Take a break, come back.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing. RSM. This is the power of being understood. This is RSM. BMW of Minnetonka. Choose from 60 certified pre-owned BMWs at BMW of Minnetonka. And Bobby and Steve's Auto World. Go to BobbyandStevesAutoWorld.com for huge savings on everything from convenience store items to everything under the hood of your car.
Quality. It's the result of shared values. The joy found in an honest day's work. Respect for true American craftsmanship and the need, not the want, to get things right. It's the result of remembering your roots, being forever humbled by how far you've traveled and forever hungry to push on further. Quality is a result. Quality is who we are. Cambria. Family owned, American made.
You're watching CW-23.
It's Family Leisure's After Christmas Sale. Huge savings store-wide. Spas from $13.99. Save thousands on select pool tables. Theater seats are priced to move. After Christmas Sale going on now at Family Leisure.
Do you need a car but credit problems are holding you back? CarHop can help with a super low down payment and fast approval. We understand buying a car is a big decision. With a 7-day money-back guarantee and an outstanding warranty, you know you've made the right choice. Fast approval and the peace of mind of a money-back guarantee and a great warranty. Call or visit carhop.com today.
CarHop, cars and credit to go. Cars and credit to go.
CW-23 is looking for the best wings in the Twin Cities.
One possibility is Lucky's 13 Pub. There's 4 locations in the Twin Cities, great food and good fun.
But you get to decide who the winner is.
Go online and vote for the best wings in the Twin Cities at thecw23.com.
Happy New Year from all of us at CW23.
An odometer under 15,000 miles and an up to 5-year, 75,000-mile warranty makes it elite. The way it does this makes it a BMW. Introducing BMW Certified Pre-Owned Elite.
Choose from 60 certified pre-owned BMWs at BMW of Minnetonka.
Looking for a nice, big, juicy rack of ribs?
Fabulous chops, huge steaks, and the Buddy Bowl? Then J.D. Hoyt's is the place for you. Hoyt's opened in 1983, and Mike Andrews and his partner John White have kept this Minnesota tradition at the top of the food chain. Managing owner Pat Montague gives us a tour.
At J.D. Hoyt's, enjoy a relaxed atmosphere, great food, friendly service, private dining room, second-to-none happy hour, just blocks from the new ballpark.
Located at 394 in North Washington. Locally owned, nationally known. Hoyt's.
Holiday season, J.D. Hoyt's. Go say hi to Pat and the gang. It's as good as it gets. Chops, steaks, seafood, salads, you name it, they've got it. And it's a great atmosphere when you're coming to downtown Minneapolis for any of the above. A concert, going over to the University of Minnesota, maybe on your way to St. Paul. And this time of year, of course, watching the Minnesota Timberwolves play basketball. I was there last night watching the Timberwolves. Trent, you know, from a fan standpoint, you're not quite sure what you're seeing because you're saying, is this the building blocks of something that's going to be good, or are we just spinning our wheels again and we're just seeing a different version of what we've seen over the last 20 years where they might tease us from time to time, but it never really gets good?
Well, they have some young talent they can build around for sure, and we've seen the emergence of Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. But someone has to be that third scorer. And how the game is being played today, especially in the Western Conference, that third scorer is normally the point guard.
And Ricky Rubio is not a pure scorer, but I can't quite get a feel for how they want to use Rubio. Is he their guy? They give minutes away. Now, Tyus Jones is fun to see getting minutes. Andre Miller got significant minutes. I don't know if it's because Rubio's injured some, but I can't quite figure out if they look at him as a captain and a leader, or they just look at him as a piece. I can't figure it out.
Well, this team is waiting for someone to step up and lead them. And he's the guy that has the qualities as a point guard. He understands how to play the position, but is he ready to take that next step? Can he lead this team? And that's the big question.
Here's the thing. I was involved in pro basketball for 15 years.
But they were shooting free throws underhand at that time.
And they're still taking the ball in the basket.
The one most important thing is turnovers. I never seen a team, you can give them all that crap. They're young, they're inexperienced, they played college basketball, they played high school basketball. That Rubio is the worst turnover guy I've ever seen.
Have you watched Philadelphia play?
You can't win turning the ball over and then giving a team like last night all the opportunity
Indiana
to score on turnovers. They scored something like 30 points on turnovers last night.
Yeah, 30 points I think it was.
You can't do that.
Lavelle, tell Sid.
Well, Sid does have a little bit of a point, though. You know,
he's agreeing with me on two things.
You know, point though, turnovers are bad, and when you have that much youth on the court, that stuff's going to happen. It's a head scratcher why Rubio is the culprit, but when they were trying to play Zach LaVine at the one, we saw that happen a lot. I'd like to see the plus-minus numbers on LaVine when he was a point guard because he had to be deep into the minus.
I don't know. I know what you're saying. I don't know what the plus-minus was, but Trent, obviously, he can't develop as a point guard unless you play him at point guard. Does Zach LaVine have enough? Has he shown you enough that he can be? Obviously, he's athletic enough to play in the league. I'm not questioning that, but to play point guard?
No, he's not a point guard. You know, he's a guy that can play some point here and there, but you're not going to give him a steady diet.
That's not a playoff point guard.
As your point guard, because he doesn't have those instincts as a point guard.
Who doesn't?
Zach LaVine. You know, but Rubio is the guy that has the instincts to be a point guard. You know, he's a very good passer. He plays the pick and roll very well. But the one thing that has hurt him throughout his career is his ability to knock down outside shots. And if he becomes a better shooter, all of a sudden now the defense has to defend him differently. And when the defense, he can draw two guys toward him, all of a sudden now his passing, you know, becomes unstoppable.
There's no pick and roll.
Wait a second, we got another,
there you go.
Wait a second, guys, we got another here's the thing from over here.
Here's the thing. I agree with Bobby Knight. He was against the three-point shot. The three-point shot.
I don't think Trent's against it.
Is not basketball anymore. You can be 20 behind.
But isn't that a good thing? That you can be 20 behind and people still stay in their seats?
No, I'd rather have teams win on ability.
Trent, isn't that a good thing that at 20 down you're still in the game?
Well, if you have guys who can make a three-point shot, for sure.
But I'm saying at least it keeps your interest?
It keeps your interest because you know that a few baskets here or there, all of a sudden you're right back into the game. With 4 or 5 minutes left in the game, you still believe you have a chance to come back and win.
They gave Tyus some minutes last night early in the game. What do you see from Tyus Jones with the Timberwolves?
Well, I think this is a great opportunity for him now to step in and show what he can do. He goes down to the D-League. He was able to put up some good numbers. He was very aggressive on the offensive end. And I would like to see him do some of the same things once he gets into the game now.
Move it back.
I want to see Tyus Jones have some minutes carved out for him for every game, backing up Rubio at point. I like Levine at the 2 way more than I like him at the 1. If they want to trade Kevin Martin, they got to play Kevin Martin. I don't know if they're having trouble finding a taker, but you can't just bench
this
him.
roster makeup is just strange.
And
I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to have Kevin Garnett and Tayshaun Prince kind of show the young guys how to play. But you knew this was going to happen. Somewhere in the middle, you've got this quagmire of Kevin Martin, and if Pekovic comes back, how many minutes do you give him? Because you're trying to develop, and you're trying to have these veterans show them.
Georgie Jenkins.
And generally speaking, Trent, that just doesn't work.
I'll tell you what, Jones can't play in this league.
Played well last night.
He played terrible.
No, he didn't.
Oh, he wasn't that bad.
Terrible.
Go ahead, Trent.
Well, when you look at the makeup of this team, you know, and some of the guys you just mentioned, they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So when Pekovic is ready to play, they're going to have to find minutes for him to play.
I want to give Sam Mitchell credit, though, because I am a believer in what he did yesterday, leaving Prince on the bench and leaving Martin on the bench and trying to get these guys in crunch time, try to figure things out for themselves.
Well, then
I don't know if you do that every night, but you got to pick the spots when they need to get thrown into
I understand what you're
deep water.
saying, and then you're just going to have to live with the fact that you're not going to win a lot of games, but you're going to have to believe that these guys are going to benefit from them. The thing that happens sometimes is, yeah, they play the crunch minutes, but that doesn't mean they're going to be good players. It just means that you're playing young guys at crunch time.
And they learn how to lose as they learn how to win.
Oh, we got another, here's the thing.
Kevin Martin has won more games for them than anybody.
Then why don't they play him more?
I don't know why.
Huh? Take a break, come back, Sports Show.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Escape MSP, the fastest 60 minutes of your life.
Ever wonder, why do I hear but not understand? Scientists at Cambridge University discovered the answer. Inside your cochlea, there are thousands of tiny hearing hair cells. Poor hearing occurs when regions of these hair cells die. Amplifying a dead region with hearing aids makes you hear worse, not better. The result of this study is a hearing clarity breakthrough. Using standard test equipment, dead regions of your cochlea are identified. Then, a new type of frequency-shaping hearing aid is programmed to bypass the dead regions. Only your usable hearing hair cells receive amplification. Brilliant. A local study is underway. 100 citizens with hearing problems are needed to receive this testing and then wear the tiny device for 10 days, recording your results. Call now to see if you qualify. Volunteers may keep the product at a special discount if they desire. Don't miss this opportunity. Call now.
Hi, I'm John Hines. And Bobby and Steve's Auto World is the place you should come for car washes, oil changes, tires. As a matter of fact, anything and everything under the hood of your car. You're in great hands at Bobby and Steve's Auto World, where serving people is the most important part of their business.
Go into Bobby and Steve's Auto World for great savings on all Michelin and BF Goodrich tires. Plus, get $60 on your World Rewards card. Schedule your appointment at BobbyandStevesAutoWorld.com or just stop in.
Welcome back to the sports show. The Golden Gophers on two fronts. We can talk about the football and the basketball. Sid, let's start with the football. Tomorrow they play a bowl game against the Central Michigan team. And listening to you this morning on the radio, you've got some fear about them playing Central Michigan now.
Absolutely.
Why?
They got one of the best passers in the country.
I mean, have you seen this kid play, or are you just going by hearsay?
That conference competes with the Big Ten a lot. They beat teams like Purdue. They beat teams like Indiana. They beat teams like Illinois. Central Michigan played a very tough schedule. And Mason said today, Glenn Mason said today, he saw them play somebody, I forgot who it was. And he says they put on some kind of a show with that guy throwing for over 300 yards. If that guy can throw for 300 yards, they won't win.
He's not going to throw for 300 yards against the Gopher defense because their secondary is healthy.
Yeah,
Their secondary is good.
Supposed to be great, Sid.
They got a good secondary.
Let's hope.
Well, they were 15th in the country. Okay. For pass defense, that's pretty good.
Well,
how important is this game to Tracy Clay, Trent, as he tries to establish a culture, his culture?
Well, it's always important to win the last game of the season because it's a confidence boost as you move into
Especially
the
when
next
you're a
season.
new coach, though.
No doubt about it. If you can always walk off the field with the victory, you know, that's something that you can build upon as you move into the next year.
Lavelle, how important is this for Tracy Clay?
Well, I think a lot of fans are still scratching their head over his clock management late in that one game at
Michigan, but they've gotten
game.
past that. You know, you got to
hopefully move past that. But you know, he's got rid of line Grover. We're going to see what type of offense he wants to run. What the team on the field is going to look like in his eyes. So it's going to be rather interesting. This is like the start of the 2016 season for him.
Sid, I'll start with you on this, but Trent, the Gopher basketball team.
if they could win that football game tomorrow, they got a great season coming up.
Schedule-wise.
They got the best recruiting class they ever had, without a doubt. They got all the good guys coming back, and they got a schedule that is made for perfect.
Yep.
If they lose that game, it'll take away some of the glamour. Gopher basketball.
Yeah, what's your?
We could get you, me, him, and him,
Trent for
and
sure.
him, and I think we can beat him.
What's the problem?
They don't have talent.
This is Patino's third year. Shouldn't they be better than they are in his third year?
Well, he should have better talent than he does have, but he does have talent next year. If he could get Trent when he comes out.
He's not going to get Gary Trent.
Yeah.
Junior.
Well, if he could get him, he'd get that one superstar that could make him.
Trent, this has kind of gotten worse, though, than just not having a good preseason. It's that nobody's really, I mean, even us today, I mean, people aren't even familiar with the team. They've just lost interest. In the name of Williams Arena, I never thought I'd see this in my life.
That's very, very true. And you're losing to teams that we normally don't lose to. And that's a bad sign. But they have to just continue to plug away. And like Sid mentioned, you know, the recruits are supposed to come in next year, you know, but let's hope we can get to next year.
What would you do for the immediate to try to give this team some energy, some juice? What would you do?
Well, you just have to go out and coach them the best you can, and hopefully on a daily basis you see some
win
improvement.
with talent.
You know, they beat Clemson. You know when they beat Clemson, everyone thought that this team might be on the right track, but all of a sudden they've taken a step back as of late. So we'll see how things move going forward.
Lavelle, you had an interesting theory on this. Sure, it was Sid.
Look, if the Gophers are hitting 55% of their shots and they can score 80 points, they got a chance to win. If not, they're done. They don't play. I don't like the way they play defense. Their offensive guys float in, float out from game to game. He's mad at Bugs for some reason. All Bugs has done is work his tail off to try to get on the court, and Patino's mad at him. And Sid's right. There's a talent void on this roster, and that's going to come. My friends who are Gopher season tickets holders are very down in this program right now. They don't know which way the thing's going.
No, you can't tell. You can't tell.
You don't win without talent.
Oh, you're coming back to that again.
The Gopher basketball
Here's the thing.
team doesn't have one player that could have made one of the teams Mr. Tucker played
They certainly
on.
wouldn't have got minutes.
Not even close.
I don't think they can play defense
Not even
well.
close. And if you don't have talent, they will get killed by Ohio State. They will get killed by Michigan State.
And Israel's coming out.
I have my doubt that they'll win 3-4 Big Ten games.
That's a lot of losses in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, though. That's kind of, I mean,
right.
Northwestern seems to be going this way, right?
Northwestern's never made the NCAA tournament, and this could be their year.
And what are they ranked?
Northwestern's played no.
Sure.
Yeah, well, but still, take a break, come back.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Case Law. For all your legal needs, not your typical law firm. Griffin Bail Bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than to need us and not know us. Edge Marketing and Promotional Products. From T-shirts to swag, featuring over 100,000 products. We can put your logo on anything. And Vincent's Limousine Service, serving your corporate and private transportation needs since 2005.
If you guys could go on a free shopping spree anywhere, where would you go? I'd go to the grocery store. Pizza, ice cream. I'd go shop for clothes. You know where I go? I'd go to Ticket King. Ticket King! At Ticket King, you can buy great seats for the Vikings, the Wild, the Timberwolves, and of course the Twins. We love the Twins. Yep, this is where I go. Vikings, Twins, Wild, Timberwolves, Gophers, theater, and concerts too. For details, go to TicketKingOnline.com. Any ticket, anytime, anywhere. It's the real thing. It's Ticket King. Right, Dad?
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
That's for sure.
Hey, guys. Hey, Mom. Keep the change, Frank. Same time next week.
When it drives and looks like new, you'll want to treat it like new. Certified pre-owned by BMW.
Choose from 60 certified pre-owned BMWs at BMW of Minnetonka.
Take every step without hesitation. Anticipate your next move with certainty. Because our trusted advisors help you prepare for challenges specific to your business. Our focus is always on you, so your focus is always forward. Experience the power of being understood. RSM, Audit, Tax, and Consulting for the Middle Market.
Welcome back. Quickly, Lavelle, the Twins, any moves to be made here in the next month?
Well, baseball usually shuts down over the holiday season and reopens on January 4th. So I don't expect to hear any moves over the next week or so. But there's a lot of free agents still out there. The Twins still need another quality left-handed reliever. Will they spend $6 million for Antonio Bastardo? I don't think they will, but I think they should look at it.
And finally, Sid Hartman on Sid. Sid on Sid, finish the show, buddy.
Gophers will win the game tomorrow, and that'll set off the best season they've had in a long time.
You said that a year ago.
I think they'll win good.
There you go. This is a recording.
We just got a time
Back here
machine.
next week, everybody.
I heard this last
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing. Escape MSP. The fastest 60 minutes of your life. RSM. This is the power of being understood. This is RSM. BMW of Minnetonka. Choose from 60 certified pre-owned BMWs at BMW of Minnetonka. And Bobby and Steve's Auto World. Go to BobbyandSteve'sAutoWorld.com for huge savings on everything from convenience store items to everything under the hood of your car.